बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों, क्या हाल हैं? कैसे हैं आप सब लोग? उम्मीद करता हूँ खैरियत से होंगे। दोस्तों, आज की इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ रिएक्शन काइनेटिक्स। इट इज़ अ कॉमन ऑब्जर्वेशन दैट रेट ऑफ केमिकल रिएक्शंस डिफर ग्रेटली। Many reactions in aqueous solution are so rapid that they seems to occur instantaneously. For example, a white precipitate of silver chloride is formed immediately on addition of silver nitrate solution to sodium chloride solution. Some reaction proceeds at a moderate rate, for example, hydrolysis of an ester. Still, other reactions take a much longer time, for example, the rusting of iron, the chemical weathering of stonework of building by acidic gases in atmosphere, and the fermentation of sugar. The studies concerned with rates of chemical reactions and the factors that affect the rates of chemical reactions constitutes the subject matter of reaction kinetics. The studies also throw light on the mechanism of reaction. All reactions occur in a single series of steps. In a reaction consists If a reaction consists of several steps, one of these steps will be the slowest than all other steps. The slower step is called the rate determining step. The other step will not affect the rate. The rates of reactions and their control are often important in industry. They might be the deciding factor that determine whether a certain chemical reaction may be used economically or not. Many factors influence the rate of chemical reaction. It is important to discover the condition under which the reaction will proceed most economically. डेटा ये हमारे पास एक ग्राफ दिया हुआ है, एक एनिमेशन दी हुई है जिसमें एक्स एक्सिस पे जो है रेट्स कोऑर्डिनेट्स हैं, रिएक्शन कोऑर्डिनेट्स हैं, और गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी है जो वाई एक्सिस पे है। ये सिंपल सा एक ग्राफ है हमारे पास। रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन during a chemical reaction, reactants are covered into products, so the concentration of the product increases with the corresponding decrease in the concentration of reactants as they are being consumed. The situation is explained graphically in figure 1.1 for the reactant of which A, which is changing irreversibly to the product B. The slope of the graph of the reactants or the product is the steepest at the beginning. This shows a rapid decrease in the concentration of the reactants and consequently a rapid increase in the concentration of the product. As the reaction proceeds, the slope becomes less steep, indicating that the reaction is slowing down with time. It means that the rate of reaction is changing every moment. The following curve for the reactants show touch at the time axis in the long run. This is the stage of completion of reaction. The rate of reaction is defined as the change in concentration of a reactant or a product divided by the time taken for the change. ये हमारे पास एक ग्राफ है जिसमें एक्स एक्सिस पे हमारे पास कंसंट्रेशन है और वाई एक्सिस पे हमारे पास टाइम है, वाई एक्सिस पे कंसंट्रेशन है, जिसमें हम रिएक्टेंट और प्रोडक्ट के दो हमारे पास ड्रा दिए हुए हैं। बी जो है वो हमारे पास प्रोडक्ट कर रहा है जो कि विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम इंक्रीज़ हो रही है, और ए जो है वो डिक्रीज़ हो रहा है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टाइम। ए की कंसंट्रेशन डिक्रीज़ हो रही है जैसे जैसे हमारे रिएक्टेंट प्रोडक्ट में कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं। The change in concentration of reactants and the product with time for reaction A to B. The rate of reaction has the units of concentration divided by time. Usually, the concentration is expressed in mole per decimeter cube and the time in seconds. Thus, the units of reaction rate are mole per decimeter cube per second. Rate of reaction is equal to change in concentration of substance divided by time taken for change. For a gas phase reaction, units of pressure are used in place of molar concentration. It follows from the above graph that the change in concentration of the reactant A or the product B is much more at the start of the reaction and then it decreases gradually. So the reaction rate decreases with time. It never remains uniform during different time periods. It decreases continuously till the reaction ceases. The rate of reaction is equal to mole per decimeter cube per second. Instantaneous, instantaneous and average rate. The rate at any one instant during the interval is called the instantaneous rate. The rate of reaction between two specific time intervals is called the average rate of reaction. The average rate and instantaneous rates are equal for only one instant in any time interval. At first, the instantaneous rate is higher than the average rate. At the end of the interval, the instantaneous rate becomes lower than the average rates. As the time interval becomes smaller, the average rate becomes closer to the instantaneous rate. The average rate will be equal to the instantaneous rate when the time interval approaches zero. Thus, the rate of reaction in instantaneous change in concentration of a reactant or a product at a given moment of time. Rate of reaction is equal to dx over dt, where this dx is a small change in concentration of product in a very small time interval dt. Hence, dx over dt is also called rate of change of concentration with respect to time. The rate of a general reaction A gives us B can be expressed in terms of a rate of disappearance of the reactant A or the rate of appearance of the product B. Mathematically, rate of reaction is equal to minus dA over dt is equal to plus dB over dt, where dA and dB are the change in concentration of a reactant A and the product B respectively. The negative sign is in the term indicates a decrease in concentration of a reactant A. Since the concentration of product increases with time, the sign in rate expression involving the change of concentration of product is positive. तो ये हमारे पास एक ग्राफ दिया हुआ है जिसमें हमने जो चेंजेस को जो है वो शो कराया हुआ है. एवरेज एंड इंस्टेंटेनियस रेट ऑफ चेंज सोर्स एंड क्रेडिट ब्रिलियंट. दोस्तों आज की हमारी वीडियो यहीं तक थी, तो मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए अपना ख्याल रखिएगा. अल्लाह हाफिज़.